Hey there, it's Bakari. Just wanted to throw out a little content warning here. There's some contentious subject matter in the anime we talk about this episode, including an attempted sexual assault and some mention of a relationship between an underage student and her teacher. It's not a very prominent part of our discussion at all, but as always, we want to try and keep things as fun and enjoyable as possible for everyone listening. So if you'd rather miss that talk, we have some markers in the description to show you where to skip. That all said, thanks so much for tuning in. Hello and welcome back to School Dropouts, a podcast about anime and friendship, and we are your hosts. I'm Bakari.
And I'm Stew.
I thought I had a pun or something there on Bokurano because it's gonna be R.
Bokurano.
I'm a Bokurino. I'm a heckin' pupper. doing a little boofle snoot. Jesus Christ.
What a perfect segue into the really fun, cute show we watched.
Yeah. This is another story about some cute heckin' papparinos fighting some bad guys for truth and justice and friendship.
That's right. We watched Paw Patrol this week.
Did you know there's a Paw Patrol movie? I had no idea until
I believe
yesterday.
it.
Yeah, there's multiple ones.
Bernadette and I were walking around Sacramento, and I think it's the Memorial Theater or Memorial Auditorium or whatever.
I saw Fall Out Boy there once.
Apparently a bunch of children saw some kind of Paw Patrol thing because there were just children everywhere. None of them paying any attention to where you have to stop and whatnot, and just parents constantly having to be no, don't walk out to the street full of cars.
Yeah.
That
is now that I think about it, that's kind of a dangerous place to have that, because that's off 16th. That's one of the more busy streets.
Yeah. And I've just never seen so many bewildered children. I don't know if what they saw inside was insane or if they're just not used to downtown or something. Yeah. But yeah.
These kids, goddamn, they're a bunch of fucking tourists. All right, they're slowing down the foot traffic. They're standing and ogling at all of our great tourist traps, like the
closed down PF Chang's,
the closed down PF Chang's, and the Goodwill Express on 16th. And,
and don't forget about right there. You've got 3 or 4 just excellent parking lots.
You can. They're standing and ogling at the knife assault that is most definitely happening in the Parkway at Safeway on SN 19th. There's also at any given time, someone's getting stabbed.
Yeah, over there. There's I think in that area too. There's a bunch of bars.
Yeah,
so
the
there
kids
you go,
love
children.
Those.
There you go.
Little party animals. Those Paw Patrol audience members.
It's such a funny thing to see because Sacramento. I having spent no time in any other city really. I see no children here ever.
Very infrequently. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't spend any time at parks, so maybe that's part of it. But I never see people walking around with their children or anything.
I see every once in a while, I don't live downtown anymore, but when I was I would see I'd be out for a walk and I'd be oh, parent with a child, crazy.
Yeah. I don't mean non-zero,
but close to it.
Yeah, you see people with dogs all the time.
Sure,
no kids, and I don't mean this as a bad thing. I think it's great. I don't like being around children. I don't like children.
Sure.
So this works out great for me.
Yeah, I used to be very I hate kids, because I worked at an arcade when I was much younger.
Yeah.
And it gave me a bad impression of kids because I had to realize eventually the kids that I was, that I had to work around were the ones that were brought there by their parents who wanted to watch the football game and drink beer with their friends and did not want to take care of their shitty kids. So they'd throw them in the arcade where I worked while they watched the game at the bar. And those kids with their shitty parents, they sucked. But your average kid, totally fine.
Yeah.
I've gotten past the point where I'm fuck all kids. I'm still never gonna have one. But
yeah,
God willing. But kids are fine. But yeah, I'm perfectly fine not being around them anyway.
Yeah, I guess it's more that children often fall into that. Well, we talk about a lot in this show, right?
Yeah.
You either want them to be terrible or great. Most kids just kind of fall in that mediocre valley.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where just, all right, yeah, fine, you exist. You know? Cool. Tell me about garbage trucks and all that jazz.
Love garbage trucks.
They love garbage trucks. That was like a huge thing for, I know at least like 5 years ago, I had a kid at a wedding come up to me holding a garbage truck, telling me about all the cool garbage truck things that this kid could do. I'm like, I mean, good on you. Glad that people want to grow up to be garbage trucks now. But
look, the garbage truck is it's pretty much the only time you get to see a mechanical arm in your day-to-day life.
Oh, that's a good point. I do think, fuck it. I take it back. I do watch the garbage truck pick up the thing and throw it. And
exactly.
Go,
like,
nice.
oh, look at that. Put it back down. Wow, technology.
Wow.
I have been the few kids that are in my life by means of like, kids of friends or whatever. I've pretty much had like 100% success rate in getting them into Sonic. Not even trying to. Just like, or like not even like I'll sort of mention Sonic, I'm wearing Sonic merch, whatever, and then the kid sees the Sonic movie and they're like, they already recognize it because their dad's friend or whatever talks about it, and then like they come back and they're like, Sonic rules, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Sonic's kind of had a resurgence with kids.
Oh yeah,
too. Yeah, because I know a couple of people have told me that they've like been to like a nephew's birthday party or whatever. It's all Sonic themed.
Yeah.
Those movies did a lot of good. I see why Nintendo wants to make a Mario movie. They can't let Sega win after all these years.
Yeah, the Mario movie, I mean, it looks fun, but it looks a little too like sanitary. It's a little too like, they just airbrushed everything so perfectly that I'm like, I think it's going to be like fun, but not very memorable.
Yeah. I think Sonic was like, I don't know if a ton of faith was put into it. So I don't know what was going on with that production, because we always got to talk about ugly Sonic.
Yeah. Ugly Sonic was like, that's a whole thing. Sonic. But like in the process of like rolling back Ugly Sonic, they did bring in they brought in Tyson Hesse and like a lot of other like, people who had been working on Sonic for quite a while in some way, shape, or form. And like it went from being this like weird cash in to like, oh fuck, we got like the creatives involved in the Sonic movie. You
got the good Sonic guy.
Exactly.
I'm glad you said Tyson Hesse, because I would have talked about him I might have talked about him at some point, and my brain was 100%. Yeah, he's Mike Tyson. His name is Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Not even putting that other Mike Tyson in there.
Mike Tyson, big Sonic fan.
Big Sonic
he says
fan.
Sonic.
But
get all the Chaos Emeralds.
But that was a great movie.
Yeah. Love Sonic too.
I want to see the Mario movie.
I'm interested,
but I'm not like. It's funny that like Sonic hits in such a different way from Mario.
It's just Sonic has like, at its best, Sonic has always been like the right kind of like just the right amount of scuffed up. Like it's not perfect. It's got like a little jank, a little grody-ness to it, but like in the perfect way. Where like, much like the games, I think Mario has like always been kind of focused on being like, the ideal, like the platonic ideal for like what somebody wants out of a platformer video game.
Yeah.
And this is the movie.
Yeah. I think it was it was an interesting choice for them to be like, we're gonna let the Sonic canon evolve, right? Like we're gonna let Ken Penders just go buck wild and get all horny with these characters. Right? And then Mario, they're like, we're only gonna put him in games. The point of Mario is to have a fun little guy that runs around and jumps.
He'd be running, he'd be jumping. That's about it.
And now it's like when they go and make a Sonic movie, it's like, oh, I got to see it because it's going to be a train wreck, or, oh, I got to see it because like Sonic's weird or whatever.
Yeah.
But like Mario, I like Mario games.
Me too.
I'm not the biggest platformer guy, but I had a great time in Odyssey.
Yeah.
I don't understand the creation of this Mario movie.
It really weirds me. And like, I don't mean to ruffle any feathers here beyond my usual intent, but like, I don't understand people who are like really into Mario, like outside of a mechanical level. Like if you love yourself some platformers, you love running, you love jumping, you love throwing fireballs and all the rest, hey, good on you. But like the people who are like Mario profile picture doing a cool pose and they talk about like how sick Mario is and how he could fucking beat Goku or whatever, and like going into the Mario movie is completely bastardizing the Mario War because they're referencing this thing before, they're meant to referencing Jumpman but not Super Mario World, like that kind of thing, or they're making Super Mario World references but not Super Mario Bros. 3 references, and this is an origin story and blah blah blah, and it's like there's no story to Mario. Even the Mario RPGs, I love the Mario RPGs. There's no fucking story there that like carries over. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Princess got kidnapped. Let's go save the princess. And then they have that one game where you play as the princess and it's like a weird hysteria simulator, which I love that game, but like, you know, it's this much sexist, just a little bit.
It's a weird what simulator?
Hysteria simulator.
Okay.
Her powers entirely come from her emotions, which are like sad, angry, and like, so like when she cries, you know what I mean? Like her inability to control her like mental state is the root of her powers in that game, and that's you know, that's a whole thing.
Which is really good because that really counters Mario. You know, when you think about Mario, you think about a guy who's just perfectly stoic in control. You know? Yeah, he's basically the Roman statue of Nintendo. That's funny.
Yeah,
that's weird. It's okay. Going back to what you're saying there, I think it's weird when Mario fans behave like Sonic fans.
Yes, we've earned this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there is nothing that even comes close to a Ken Penders equivalent for Mario, right? Like, what is the weirdest Mario gets? Like, I'm sure the RPG has some weird moment or whatever, but there's no like, what's the okay? I guess this is the thing. What's the closest Mario gets to sex?
The BBW ghost in in Thousand Year Door. I think her name's Vivian. Look, that's one thick ass ghost, but like, and she's got these like plump, super pink lips, and like, and just like, yeah, she's just like, it's someone's idea of sexy, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, like nobody's being that weird about it, like in terms of dialogue or whatever, but that's a thing.
Yeah.
People get really weird about, about the female characters, and like, I'll like, you know, I'm not above saying it. Like, yeah, there's a certain like, they could be drawn cartoonier. Like, I get why someone would look at Peach or Daisy or Rosalina or someone and be like, yeah, that's a sexy character. Like, okay, you know,
yeah,
whatever. They wear the spandex suits in the Mario Kart games, you know, like, I get it. But like, some people get real, Save Do a Click video games, go into his likes sometimes. Some scary stuff in there.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Dude is an unabashed, very loud and proud Daisy fucker.
Okay, well, yeah, good on you, I guess. You know, everybody's got to have their thing. That's, but yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is like Sonic has like an edge to him that makes him weird.
Sega do what Nintendo don't.
Nintendo,
that's right. They've been saying it.
So I think when you said that the Mario movie seems very sanitized, I think that's 100%.
Yeah,
you know, because that's been what Mario has been.
Yeah,
and it's worked out great for him. I think this movie will be fine.
As do I. I think it, like, you know, it's going to be exactly what it aims to be, and I think it's going to do that job well. And I think after I watch it, I'm not going to think about it that much.
Yeah. Like if I mean, I don't think I'm going to react the same way that I reacted to the Sonic movie, where I was absolutely blown away that it was like good.
Yeah.
Like that, I love that first movie.
Me
like
too.
Not even like ironic Sonic guy. Like I think that is a genuinely great movie.
Totally. Yeah.
You know, it's got a clear premise and it sticks to it. It works for fans of the series and not fans of the series.
And I was really shocked that they followed it up with another good one.
Yeah.
You know, like the first one was enough of a surprise, but then they made a sequel that was still good and like honestly paid a lot of homage to the like original Sonic canon. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't 1-to-1, but like it was far closer than I would have ever expected to see out of like a major live action movie.
Yeah.
A live action movie with a Kid Cudi credits song.
Yes.
Lil Yachty on the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's hitting all the bases. While I didn't like the second one as much, I still thought it was very good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for a third one. Though the no Jim Carrey is a bit of a bummer.
I'm really confused as to how that's gonna go. Cause like now we have to come up with a story that involves Shadow, but without Eggman, which is a bit strange.
I wouldn't be opposed to them like casting somebody else and just having that person,
Oh,
like him being like, I got blasted by chaos radiation and now
I just happen to look like Jonah Hill or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Jonah Hill could be like, not even, I don't mean to make this out about his like size or shape or anything. Like that guy's gotten a lot fitter. But like, you know, I feel like an Eggman with Jonah Hill's brand of like snippiness could be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Jonah Hill's a really good actor too. Yeah. Like my brain went to like, okay, what are other funny people? And like, I think Seth Rogen Eggman would be a bit of a nightmare. As much as I like Seth Rogen, it would be Seth Rogen Eggman. Eggman.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
Yeah,
I can't see Seth Rogen as a bad guy. Like, is he ever a bad guy in his movies?
Oh, I don't know. Have you seen that? Like, what's the movie where they're like security guys?
Movie where they're security guys,
like at a mall. Not Paul Blart.
Not Paul Blart. There's another
Kevin James, another Eggman. Yeah, I've heard
Kevin
that.
James Eggman. It could happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be excited. But,
yeah, me neither.
You know, maybe he could.
Never excited to see Kevin James in any context. he could walk into this room right now and I'd be like, oh, all right.
We're not bringing out another mic.
No, I have one in my bag. You're gonna have to set it up if you want to know this.
The recording interface only has 2 slots. You brought your own?
Yeah.
No.
Kevin James, unlike Keanu Reeves and the other people we've mentioned, and that one Japanese guy.
Wow. Yeah, we've really opened this podcast up to a lot of people. This is the first time we're shutting someone out.
Yeah, sorry, KJ. Like you're gonna have to jump through some hoops for that one. Ain't gonna be easy for you.
You are gonna have to get cast in the Sonic movie for us to at least want to try to bring you.
Sure, yeah.
But really, that invitation's open to anyone involved in the Sonic movie.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sonic, if you want on this podcast anytime, buddy.
I did. Yeah, Ben Schwartz at Idris Elba, and it's the fiance guy, the groom, the cop groom in Sonic 2, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember us playing a Shrek.
Oh yeah, Shrek 2 for the Xbox or GameCube or whichever one.
Yeah,
positive. Yeah.
He says there's a part where he like grabs a snake, blows it up like a balloon, and then like makes it fold out to say winner. And I'm like, how is that image not everywhere?
Yeah.
Like and this was like when the internet was in love with Shrek.
Yeah.
You know, not that ever went away, but man, the internet was in love with Shrek a few years ago.
There's I think I mentioned recently, somebody posted the entirety of the B movie on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And I sat through it, the entire thing, and then like later that day, almost started watching it again, and then caught myself like 20 minutes in, like, I cannot do this twice in a day.
Yeah. Watch the B movie twice.
Yeah. It was my first time seeing the B movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've still never seen it, but I've seen enough people talk about it online that I'm going to say I've seen it.
I feel like I thought the same until I actually watched it. I was like, I was not ready for what this movie is. But yeah, I feel like there's, okay, we had Nintendo, Sega. This is sort of Disney DreamWorks here. DreamWorks has a sort of scuffed up nature to it. Like just that it's just that like 10% grody-ness that makes it a lot more interesting to me than Disney movies a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to say that Shrek is kind of the animated character that I can think of more interesting than any Disney person I can think of off the top of my head here. I mean, I like The Incredibles, but I don't remember any of their names.
I have a soft spot for the Encanto cast.
I'm
kind of in the minority, I guess. Well, not in the minority, but that movie's a bit more polarizing than some other ones, I think. It's supposed to be about like generational trauma and like the struggles of like, you know, that children with like, you know, immigrant parents might face and stuff. Very like Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like the end of the movie relies on the main character being like, well, I get that it was hard for my grandma moving here and stuff, so I'm just gonna forgive her, even though she's like pushing like a whole lot of trauma on me and my siblings. And the grandma's like, okay, and that's it's kind of it. So like the ending's a bit of a flop. Like the grandma says sorry and stuff, but I'm like, you have a whole lot more to unpack, and you just kind of saying sorry at each other when we moved on. Like, so, but you know, other people are like, fuck that, and I'm like, we're making movies for little kids.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody in the writer's room had a problem with telling little kids it's okay to cut their parents off forever. Like, I mean, it is okay. That's not a conversation for 5-year-olds though.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. My experience with a lot of those Disney movies was I had a few coworkers who would talk about them constantly and sing them constantly,
Yeah.
and because they had like kids and stuff, and it's basically made me like never want to watch a Disney musical ever again.
That's
Other
fair.
than Mulan, I will watch Mulan at a drop of a hat.
Mulan, yeah. I like Hercules quite a bit. Like, I never cared much for Hercules, like the source. Oh, I love Greek mythology, but like the movie itself, whatever. Soundtrack, like we've been watching it to go to bed, like every once in a while, like bangers, dude. Every song slaps.
We were at, you and I were at a big karaoke wedding recently, and somebody sang
what's it? Won't say I'm in love.
Won't say, yeah,
something like that.
The one from Hercules.
Yeah,
and I was like, holy shit, is Hercules good?
No, yeah, I
forgot about that.
That song in particular. Like, I was in the bathroom and I had to like I heard that beginning of that song.
Pinch it off.
Like, oh shit, I gotta go. Yeah. But no, that song in particular has become like maybe my favorite Disney number. Like, it's so good.
It's good.
And I don't know who Meg's voice actor is, but she got pipes, dude. She fucking nails that shit. Yeah.
No, I'm big on the Let's Get Down to Business song.
I'll Make a Man Out of You.
I'll Make a Man Out of You.
Big one.
That's great.
Dude, Reflections off of Mulan.
I was about to say Reflections.
Yeah.
I was going to say mirror, but I'm like, it's not a mirror. It's water. What does water do when it shows you your face? What is that word? Thank you.
Yeah. It's called scrying, actually.
Scrying, yeah.
Use magic powers to see. Project your chakra across the dimensional planes or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. No, I remember... both those songs are so good. I remember watching Mulan as a kid. It was like my sister's birthday, so it was a bunch of her friends, and I remember when Mulan is like ousted to be like, oh, she's a woman. Yeah, she can't be in the military. And I remember sitting in the theater, and I had to like remind myself, like, it's a movie. It's gonna be okay.
Calm down.
And it was like the first time I have a memory of doing that, where I had to like take myself out of the narrative because I was like, oh no,
you're that clip.
But she did all the good stuff. How could she be punished?
You're that clip from the Boo Saga where Gohan's like, and Goku's like, stop, don't do it, calm down.
Exactly. Yes. 100%. Yeah, no, I had to do that. I mean, it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not here to be a Disney adult or anything like that, but they do got some good fucking movies.
And they all came out when we were between the ages of 5 and 12. Get fucked, Zoomer. Oh, I can't even fucking finish this joke. Yeah, whatever. I like the Disney movies.
And I'm proud to be a millennial.
Yeah, I believe in the side part of hair instead of the middle part. Nobody look at. Well, it's okay. I think you can only find what I look like in like one episode. So good luck with that, idiots. What was I saying? Yeah. So I think it's Celine Dion sings the ending. Sings Reflection again for the ending credits of Mulan. Not nearly as good as the person who sang it in the movie itself.
I want to say it was like Christina Aguilera or something like that, but I think that's like.
Could be.
I have some kind of memory from watching Disney Channel as a kid. Because when we had cable for when I was like a 12-year-old or so, you got cable and it was basically Disney Channel constantly.
Oh, yeah. Watched a lot of Toon Disney. They had a lot of weird cartoons on. They had a lot of the cartoon spin-offs. You have the Aladdin show, the Hercules show, the Hakuna Matata, Timon and Pumbaa. Aladdin and Hercules did a crossover at one point. They met each other.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's dope.
But they live in different places. Different shows.
Yeah, but they both have flying mascot characters. You know, they figured it out. I guess those two took place at the same time. I don't know.
The Marvel team up we've all been waiting for.
Exactly. Yeah. They're both Marvel characters now, right?
I get. Well, they're all Disney characters now.
Yeah.
So the thing is, there are no Marvel characters. There are only Disney characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh,
no.
So Bernadette and I... So we all watched Last of Us recently.
We did. We haven't finished it yet.
Okay, we just finished it yesterday, and Bernadette and I are like huge. We've become huge Pedro Pascal fans.
Oh yeah,
like by watching Last of Us, the YouTube algorithm gave us interviews with him, and holy shit, what a great dude.
Yeah,
it's just so fun.
Seems very nice.
So I'm extremely excited for Disney's Star Wars Mandalorian season 3. even though I found season 2 to be bad. But I've just learned that I have to, in order to understand some plot points that will come up with this season, I need to watch the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, I forgot they did that.
Why do I have to watch a different show?
Well, because it's the Star Wars cinematic TV universe.
Man, it's too much.
Boba Fett doesn't have a fucking story. He watched his dad get beheaded, and then he's like, "I'm gonna learn to kill Jedi." And then Jabba the Hutt hires him. He dies in the Sarlacc pit. At the end, we're done.
Yeah, right. It's how it should end.
Yeah.
That's
all we need to fucking hear from that guy.
Yeah, Boba Fett's such a weird phenomenon in nerd culture where I agree. He looks cool.
1,000,000% just character design.
Yeah.
That dude does nothing and says less.
It goes a long way for me. There's a reason why I liked that big lizard guy in Tower of God ages ago.
Oh yeah.
Great character design. I love me a big dude.
Was it Rax? Rack?
Ricky?
Sure, yeah, one of
Ricky?
those. Rax, Mr.
Yeah.
Delicious,
Yeah, huge fan. I like armored guys and I like big dudes. Those are my character designs.
And that's why you're such a big Goblin Slayer fan.
Huge Goblin Slayer fan. No problems with that show.
I've been trying to talk him out of it for years, folks. He loves it too much. He says, "I'll never give me Goblin Slayer or give me death," is what he says.
I mean, the problem is I love Goblin Slayer so much that we can never do an episode on it.
And that's the only reason why.
And that's the only reason why.
Yep. The only reason.
I
really like the band that did the Goblin Slayer OP. I was like mad because I found out about them completely outside of that, just like Spotify recommendation,
Mhm.
And then like I was like, oh, this song's pretty cool. Oh, it's from an anime. Oh. Now it's just got that association,
Yeah. It's such a weird one that it got so popular. I've been on like
the fight scenes aren't good.
The fight scenes aren't good. It's got such a grisly opening for such a boring anime.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
I know.
I'm on a D&D kick right now.
Ooh,
I'm like or I should say tabletop RPG.
Sure. D&D is like the shorthand for that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've maybe only actually played, quotes Dungeons and Dragons with the little circle R next to it like once. And I've played like Pathfinder and shit a bunch.
Yeah.
Doesn't fucking make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference. Yeah. But like I was like looking up like variants on 5e and looking up just like everything I can get my little grubby mitts on.
Sure.
And Goblin Slayer popped up. I'm like, who wants this?
Yeah.
Who wants this? Just play regular D&D.
Yeah.
It's more fun. What is so
more interesting?
I don't understand who likes this show. I haven't talked to anybody who's even said like, oh yeah, no, I kept watching it. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Or
no, I know some people.
Or it was fine.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I don't get it.
Like, I don't care if you know people if they don't exist.
I enjoy Berserk. I'm not above like contentious subject matter, but like it's just not good.
It's just
not good.
No, I'm with you. I am fine with today for the show that we're watching. Bokurano. By the way, we're going to review the 6 episodes of Bokurano. We never said it.
Just to be perfectly clear, Bokurano.
Bokurano.
And I wouldn't really correct you on this, but I don't want anyone to be confused and think we're watching Boku no Pico and like making a shorthand for it.
Oh, wait. So what is the name of the show we watch?
Bokurano.
Ra.
Ra is like it makes it a plural.
The Ra.
Bokurano. Yeah.
Bokurano. We're watching Boku no Pico today.
Yeah.
And
gotcha.
But the whole reason is because I wanted to watch something trashy.
Mm-hmm.
I am not above.
Speaking of Goblin Slayer.
Yeah. Speaking of Goblin Slayer, I'm not above something like that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's just boring.
Yeah.
You can't make shows that are boring.
Yeah. Which, oops, we kind of stumbled into that with Bokurano a little bit.
Yeah.
It's also trashy and boring.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know if we want to segue into it yet.
No, I don't think we're at that point.
No,
but
okay.
foreshadow.
God.
Yeah.
Foreshadow,
No, I didn't mean to make that into like a speaking of trashy and boring. Fucking what is this? Half an hour into the, we only just got here.
Yeah. And hey, listen, as far as segues go, that would have been a really good one. So
it's true.
I want to make sure that you know that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Learning from the best here.
Well, anyways, what have you been playing? We've been talking about movies and shit.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
Ooh, I've been playing Atelier Asha or Atelier Aisha, depending on if you're playing it in Japanese or English. I'm gonna just call it Asha because I've been playing it in Japanese and that's how they pronounce it, even though it's spelled Ayesha. Aisha. I don't get it. But anyway, but in Japanese it's spelled Asha. So, just weird translation thing, I guess. They changed the name for no reason.
To totally derail what you're about to say.
Perfect.
Do you know why, if you're taking Japanese,
yeah,
right, and you're translating a title,
yeah,
is there a reason why you wouldn't just do it phonetically and you would make it like Aisha?
I don't know. I have to wonder if it's just that Aisha is a name that, Americans would probably recognize.
Yeah. Cause you'll get names like Jorge.
Sure.
But you in English you don't pronounce, you would say George. Or George, but we don't pronounce the J as H, right, in English.
Yeah.
But you would still call that person like Jorge.
I would still call that, yeah.
Yeah.
If I called that person George, I would hope they'd correct me on it.
So why? And I get that, obviously, those are both romantic languages, so there's that.
Yeah.
But why isn't that the case with Japanese? Why is sometimes that the English word is different than how it would be pronounced by a Japanese speaker?
So I'm certainly no linguist. My brother has a master's in linguistics. I should probably ask him about that. Yeah, so get him. He should replace me.
Give him a call real quick.
But I have been thinking about this a lot, and I do notice that and this is very relevant because we talk about a lot of Japanese stuff, this being an anime podcast, and neither of us are Japanese speakers. I've taken a couple of community college classes, and I can read kana and really basic kanji and some other stuff, but
I've made no effort.
Yeah. And it also comes I took a lot of French classes in high school and stuff, and this kind of applies to both. There are certain things that if you in foreign words, that if you say them a certain way, then you're just pronouncing it right. But there are other sounds that if you say it, then that's you being pretentious and going too far. There's a line between correct and now you're just trying to show off or something.
Okay.
If if you say there's Naruto and if you say there's Naruto and Sasuke, okay, we all recognize that that's wrong. We can say Naruto and Sasuke. That's perfectly correct. If you tried to, but if you're somebody who starts, in English says Naruto and Sasuke, then and people are gonna be all right, calm down, man. Where's that line?
Yeah.
It's the R tap and the way that we pronounce sounds like t and o and stuff that are just different from how a Japanese person that would. And when you try to get too close, that's where it comes in. So what I'm saying here is there are certain components that I can kind of point at and be that's where it goes too far. But I don't know how, where those rules came from or why that is or anything like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just weird.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's because I have to kind of fight that natural instinct too. When I'm pronouncing a Japanese word with an R in it, I don't want to be the guy who's actually it's pronounced Sakura, it's who gives a fuck, I mean, not to say who gives a but I'm not helping anybody by doing that, and I'm hardly very, I'm not fluent at all, not even conversational really. Mm-hmm. So who gives a shit? But yeah, all this is to say,
anyways,
it's frustrating talking about Japanese words on this podcast sometimes because there's all these rules and I don't understand them.
I didn't even say the name of the show that we just watched 6 episodes of correctly. So you're at least beyond me.
Hey, there we go.
You got that.
Yeah.
For you.
They say there's 2 wolves inside of you. One of them knows how to pronounce words like karaoke and karate correctly, and the other one likes having friends. So. So there you have it.
There you have it.
Anyway, I've been playing Atelier Asha. You know what? That word is actually pronounced atelier, but again, not good. Why bother? I took 6 years of French class. That's not going to help me here.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to get rid of the stuff.
No, I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm just gonna keep on going. Stu is still sitting right here next to me, and he is silently nodding in approval.
Yes, I've been agreeing with you this whole time.
He has been, actually.
Yep.
So I've been playing Atelier Asha. It's Atelier Asha: The Alchemist of Dusk. And this is... Have you heard of the Atelier series at all?
Not at all.
Okay. So this is a long running series, and like a super prolific one. I think they've come out with like one every other year since like 98 or some shit, like on the original PlayStation.
Wow.
Yeah. In just about everyone, with a couple exceptions, you play as a girl who is an alchemist, and you, not the same one, it's a different one every time. And you do alchemy type stuff, and it's a JRPG, but it's very laid back, and very rarely like you get into something a bit bigger than you, but like it's not as though you set off from your village in order to save the world or anything. It's like you run a little atelier and you make potions and stuff, and then you find a reason to like want to get better at alchemy. And so its main focus, of course, is the alchemy, which is essentially the most complex crafting system you've probably like ever heard of.
It's wild to think of a crafting system as complex these days.
Yeah. But no, this is like the game is by and large like the crafting system, like that plays into everything. Your main quests are mostly around like, hey, somebody needs you to build this thing, or they need you to craft this thing, and so you need to like go out and find the components for it, and you need to find them of a certain quality, and they need to have certain traits, because when you add those, so like say if you want to make a bomb, you need to have like something to make the casing, something to make the wick, something to make the gunpowder, and like those things can vary. You can find like I think it's called I can't remember the word for it. There's like these big spiky coconut looking things in the game. I think it's an uni, and like you can use one of those for the casing of it. And then there's various things that you could use for gunpowder, various things you can use for the wick. And that's like every item you can make has all those different. You can use like pretty much anything that classifies as those things. So, and like depending on the quality of it, depending on the traits that it has, you can make them of varying abilities and stuff like that. Like you can add this bomb like so that when you throw it, it causes a burn effect on the enemies, or you can make it freeze or stuff like that,
or does more damage,
okay. Wider radius, etc.
Okay.
So like you craft your own weapons, you craft your own like healing items, you craft like most of the game's like objectives are crafting stuff. Everything is done kind of through alchemy. And then you just have other characters who are like, I use a sword. And it's like, great, come on.
Cool. Yeah. Get in here, buddy.
Yeah.
Is it like a turn-based combat kind of thing?
Okay. It is until, well, this one is. The newer ones kind of branch out from that a little bit. It's more of like an ATB, like Final Fantasy VII type of deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which they're still turns. Yeah. They're just a bit more like, real time than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly different. Okay.
Slightly. Yeah. But yeah, this one's just about, it's a very, very nice young lady named Asha or Aisha. And her sister went missing a while back, like years ago. It's just kind of assumed that she got like spirited away or attacked by animals or whatever. And then one day you're visiting her grave like after you've gone out and like collected materials for the day and stuff, and all of a sudden she appears in the field of flowers like next to her grave, just for a moment. Like this ethereal visage of her appears for a moment and then disappears without a word. And then Asha shortly afterwards meets an alchemist who's more skilled than her, who goes like, oh yeah, you're trying to find her, you better learn a lot about these flowers, you got to learn a lot more alchemy. And she's like, what's alchemy? Because the whole time she doesn't realize that that's what she's been doing. She just thinks she's a potion maker. And he's just like, I don't know, man, figure it out. And that's and then just fucks off. And so her whole thing is like, she's just got to set out, and like her primary objective right now, learn more about the flowers that were there at the gravesite, and learn more alchemy. That's it. That's your whole objective. And you can kind of just, you wander off and you do all sorts of stuff, meet new people, go to new towns. But it's like, it's not so much like a Dragon Quest Final Fantasy type thing where it's like, go to this town and then go to the dungeon, and then go to this town and then you fight the dungeon, go to this town, fight the boss, like that. It's like you kind of set up shop in a town, and then like there's a whole bunch of different stuff to do, and that's sort of your base of operations. And eventually when it's time to move on, to go to the next one,
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, it seems kind of chill.
It's super chill.
There's in the Tim Rogers Dragon Quest video, he described like playing that game like, you're getting ready for bed. Like you've taken a shower, you throw on your robe, and you just kind of chill for a little bit.
He uses in his Dragon Quest XI review, he uses the term maximum hang outitude. This is that for sure.
Yeah. And that actually made me buy the game. I haven't even touched it, but that's all the vibe I kind of get from what you're describing there is a very maximum hang altitude.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you end up making friends and stuff. It's like got sort of a life sim component to it. There is a time system. It's not like Animal Crossing where it's just a real-time clock, though. It's every action that you do costs a certain amount of time. So like gathering from a gathering point costs 2 hours. Making a certain amount of materials costs X amount of hours, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Like traveling from one point to another will have like cost days depending on how long it is. Stuff like that. So like and while there's some side quests and stuff like that say like you have 100 days to complete or whatever, but like a lot of it's not like you feel rushed most of the time.
That's what I really like.
Yeah, but yeah, so like there's a lot of like, you know, you meet a character, and if you want to sort of progress that like side plot with that character, then there's kind of like mini like side quests and stuff like that you can do to get closer to them. Sometimes they'll join your party or give you new stuff or open a shop or whatever. So yeah, it's just a lot of hanging out.
Yeah, I like that. I like a game that doesn't. So I've been playing Mass Effect. You know, going to the other side of RPGs, and I love that game. But like one thing that bothers me is like this sense of like we have to kill the bad guy as soon as possible. Otherwise, he's gonna murderize everybody in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Also, like my friend got kidnapped over here. Can you go talk to the kidnapper?
Yeah.
My brain goes, that's not important. Have somebody else deal with that.
Yeah.
I have to go stop the galactic murder guy.
Yeah.
And ultimately it doesn't matter, right? Like you should do side quests in
of course.
games, but I never feel like I can really like I have to justify talking to people aboard the Normandy as I'm doing this while we're traveling.
Sure, yeah.
Not that I'm wasting time hanging out with my cool space friends.
Yeah, I don't think either of us are so far gone as to use terms like ludonarrative dissonance, but like, you know, there you do sort of have to like justify the friction of that to yourself. It's like, okay, end of the world shit going on, but like gotta go do the side quest real quick, you know. Garrus is having some problems with his buddy back home, you know, or his son or whatever, I forget.
And mild spoilers for 2.
Yeah.
Did you ever beat 2?
No.
Okay. Towards the end of that game, there is a quest that is timed. And I didn't realize that because every other quest has not been timed.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And so I got a bad outcome towards the end of the game because I went and fucked around and did some side quests.
Yeah.
And then a few characters that I loved got turned into monster goo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was horrifying. Oh, no. And I was really bummed out.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, in and of itself, I think that's like that can be cool, but like if they just don't set you up for that at all, like that's all. Yeah, like I think people point at Chrono Trigger's intro a lot. Like there, you go to the fair and there's like things you can do. Like somebody goes like, you like pick up an item and it's like, and somebody goes like, hey, that's my lunch, or like, you know, you find a missing pendant or whatever, you can bring it back to somebody. All this other little stuff, and then later on, you are put on trial for kidnapping the princess. You didn't. You just met her at the fair. She had escaped. But like when it's time to like find you guilty or innocent, they bring in character witnesses, and it's basically everyone that you've interacted with at the fair, and they come in and be like, yeah, this guy like stole my shit, or this guy fucked with my business or whatever, or like, hey, you did a nice thing. And like, so from it kind of conditions you to like the things that you do matter, even if you don't realize it at the time. Even though that's kind of the only instance of that in the game. But
it's a cool instance.
Yeah, but like I think what separates, and that's what makes me like what that Mass Effect thing makes me think of, the difference is it does it at the beginning. Yeah. And then it's like now you're set up to role play. Not, oh yeah, you've been fucking around pretending this is a video game like it is this whole time. Yeah. Well, fuck you, buddy.
Fuck you. Yeah. And it was like you didn't really lose anything mechanically, but it's still like in a narrative story. I was like, oh man, it just stung a little. And I believe, so far as I know, that is the only thing in the trilogy, the thing that I'm talking about is the only thing in the entire trilogy where it matters. And especially in the third game where it's like the apocalypse is here and it is ready to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
But can you go help this archaeologist?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's always like it tickles me so much that like I have to do it just about every time it comes up. Is like, you know, you're getting to the end of a JRPG and the villain is like ascended to godhood and he's like, now come accept your doom if you are man enough or whatever. And I'm like, all right. But I just hit a save point, so I'm going to go teach this orphan how to breakdance and then win a Go Fish tournament, and I'll be right back.
I know.
Like, well, the meteor's coming down, and I'm like, got any queens?
Yeah, well, you have to win the Go Fish tournament because that's how you get
That's how I get the greatest weapon.
Best weapon.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
To derail us further, there was a little discourse on Twitter, and I'm curious about your opinion.
Ooh, love Twitter discourse.
Twitter discourse.
Why?
About the term JRPG.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of been a derivative.
Wow. I did kind of keep up with that and then forgot it, and here we are again.
Yeah. No, I've kept it.
So fuck you for bringing me back into this world where that discourse exists.
Front of my brain, just waiting for right now. I asked Bernadette it about 30 times. She's like, I don't care. I'm just training. So, yeah. What do you think about that?
I mean,
really putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, I guess. Like, first things first. Like, X-Play was never good. Like, fuck Adam Sessler to hell. I do not give a shit about that man. But like, you know, back in the day, I think it was easy to like, you know, oh, they're talking about video games on TV. Yeah. Wow, you know, back when I was in middle school or whatever. But
and pre-YouTube.
And pre-YouTube.
That's a big deal.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you have no other option.
On cable television, people are talking about video games. That was big. But like, the only reason I liked it at that time was like it was the only game in town, and even then, it like I could recognize like not great, you know. Like every time they would do the whole like, isn't this wacky shit wacky because it's Japanese? Like, Katamari, what's going on here? You know, like fuck off. But yeah. That all being said, I do acknowledge, much like in music or like culinary arts or movies or paintings or anything else, there are going to be differences based on region, right? Like, and I'm not talking about quality or anything. It's just like the things that were available to you, the things that other people were doing around you, all that other stuff were different depending on where you were born, where you're from, all that. So of course there are characteristics that a lot of Japanese role-playing games have that say Western role-playing games don't. I think that it's a little strange to call them JRPGs in this day and age when like there's plenty of non-Japanese games in that same style that we now kind of fumble with, because it's like, well, it's not a JRPG. Like that one that just came out, like it's like Sea of Stars. I keep wanting to call it Star Ocean because that's the same fucking name, but completely different.
Oceans and seas are different.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, my bad.
I know the Mediterranean Sea connects to the ocean. Shut up, dude.
Yeah, where's that line? But yeah, so like, yeah, so Sea of Stars is, as far as I can tell, you know, what we call a JRPG, but is not made by Japanese people, right? So I think it's an outdated term, and I totally understand, like, especially with how xenophobic games media has been for so long, you know, like I understand why people would take that as an insult, and like I think if like, you know, a bunch of Japanese creators is just like, yeah, you should stop fucking saying that. Like, oh, here's the new word, you know?
Yeah.
I would take to that a lot easier than I've taken to like people wanting to call Metroidvanias search action games or whatever, because touch grass, man. Who cares? But like, this is an actual, like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Because I think there should be a term, because I haven't thought, because in, you know, I also grew up on that Let's Play JRPG bad diet.
Yeah.
And, it did influence me for a while. And I think now that I'm older, it's like, it's not that I hate JRPGs for some, you know, weird reason or whatever.
Sure.
They just don't click for me a lot of times. And that's fine. But like those style of games, regardless of the country that makes them, don't really click with me. So I just end up calling them JRPGs because that's the term that I have.
Accepted word for it now.
I don't know. Is there another term that's come up? Like because turn-based RPG is like too long to say. It needs to be, I guess like,
you could say TRPG.
TRPG kind of works.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got CRPGs.
Yeah, which is classic RPG. Computer RPG. Someone told me it was classic RPG. I don't think it is anymore. I think it's computer RPG.
Yeah,
as opposed to tabletop.
I don't know what it is. I just know that those games also don't click for me. So
I like the concept of CRPGs. I've never played one that I really like.
I love it. There's the fucking Baldur's Gate game that's based on 5e. Like, I love 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons.
Sure.
It's so great.
Yeah.
But I just know if I spend $60 on it, I'm going to play it for 30 minutes and then I'm going to jump back into Stellaris or some shit. Like, It's not gonna click.
Yeah. And like, there's games like Xenoblade, I think is pretty decisively a JRPG, but that people refer to it as.
Yeah.
But like that is not turn-based at all. So,
Oh
like
no.
it is one of those things where like, okay, like because I was having a conversation with a friend like on Twitter a while back about when I made a stupid observation. I think Rick Astley is city pop. And I stand by that. But like he was like, well, no, I mean city pop is a Japanese thing. And I was like, well, I mean, but it's a style of music. Like to say that it's Japanese means that like what does that mean that all pop music from Japan is city pop? Like Perfume isn't city pop,
Yeah.
etc.
Is like jazz from like Europe or Japan not jazz?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, and my like, one of the things I was like I've played Latin jazz before. I'm not Latino, but like, it's still Latin jazz,
Yeah.
it's or I also pointed out like a Tatsuro Yamashita, husband of Maria Takeuchi and excuse me, and like considered the father of city pop. He wrote an album with Alan O'Day called Big Wave for a documentary, like to soundtrack a documentary. If it came to light that any of those tracks was written and performed entirely by Alan O'Day with no involvement of Yamashita, would it no longer be a city pop song? Right? Ship of Theseus, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah. So like I have a problem with the land of origin being the defining characteristic of it because like, these things evolve. Art's a conversation, right? We're social animals. So yeah. To end it, like, I don't know. I think JRPG is outdated and like it's fucked up that we actually use the Japanese qualifier to indicate, characteristics of it that I don't think we do with a lot of other art forms.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's but you know what's funny? If that conversation had never came up,
Never come.
Never come. Never fucking finished. I don't think it would have never clicked in my brain that is like the only term where I put like a country in to describe what a game is like.
Yeah. Like, yeah, and
like I'll make fun of like engine, like I'll say like, oh, that's like Unity trash, or this is like some other weird, and that's like a specifically derivative thing against a game engine that I think is totally fine. But I'll be like, this is Unity trash.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just, and I haven't meant it. I don't think I've ever meant it in a bad way, but yeah, it's just one of those. Never would have thought about it.
Yeah.
It's
like I think about it, but not in the sense like, should we keep using this word? It's just like, well, that's a silly little lexical conundrum we got on our hands.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's life, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's worth changing as opposed to something like Metroidvania. Like call it Metroidvania forever.
Sure.
It's fine.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
It's just the word that has worked for everyone else until we come up with a better word.
And it's not going to be search action. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Search action.
Search action.
Nothing. That's same genre as Metroidvania, but now you've turned it into something I don't want to touch with like a 10
yeah.
like
dripless ass name. Yeah. No sauce, no bitches ass name.
Search action. Cool. Yeah, I love searching. That's my favorite thing. When I don't know where something is and I have to go find it, I love thinking about that as a thing.
But you put the word action on it to make it sound cooler, I guess.
Which is like a meaningless word, right? Yeah. Like action RPG is like I get what we're going for, but like every game is an action game. Like there are very few games that don't have anything happening.
Yeah.
Like that, like if the majority of games were missed, I would understand putting the word action in something.
Oh, sure.
But most games are not, that.
It's a good benchmark. Is it more actiony than missed? Yeah.
Whoa, this game's action packed. It's just like this.
Even the concept of the role-playing game is so skewed now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, especially coming from having played, like I went from JRPGs to D&D.
Yeah.
Right. And now looking at role-playing games, I'm like, from a D&D perspective, I'm like, this is some jank, guys. Like, especially Mass Effect. The decision tree is so. Love that trilogy, but man, that decision tree is so weird.
It's I'm
painfully aware of how there's such a dissonance between the selection, not just like that top selection good, bottom selection bad,
Yeah.
but that what I'm selecting is not even remotely close to the words that are about to come out of Commander Shepard's
Oh
mouth.
yeah,
Holy
motherfucking
fuck.
LA Noir all over again.
Yeah,
dude.
like there was like a character who was I'm paraphrasing. This wasn't a literal thing that happened, but like a character was like, "Oh, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do," and I picked like the "You'll be okay." I was like, "You'll be okay," and the character's like, "Don't." And Shepard's just like, "I need you to tell me where the plans are." It's like that's not what I selected.
That's not at all.
I was trying to comfort this person. You'll be okay.
Walk it off,
It's
pussy.
Like, it's okay. We all die one day. God damn it, Shepard.
Your day just came early. Blow it out your ass.
Like that's the fun thing with the renegade options too. Is like sometimes you're gonna say something that's kind of a tough guy thing. Sometimes you're gonna be racist.
Little racism minesweeper for you. Which one is it?
You don't know. You don't know until you pick it.
It was like there was some post about BioShock Infinite recently. It's like the game asks the player like, is racism good or is racism bad? And the player goes, racism is bad. And then Booker goes like, racism, well, there are problems on both sides, and then shoots the one named black character in the game. Boy, BioShock Infinite is a video game on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 home entertainment consoles.
I don't want to play that game again, but I need to play it again because everybody's discourse about that game is nothing like my experience with it.
Really?
Like people are like, "Oh man, there's a lot of like racism and overtones." And I just missed all of it. And then people were like, "The plot was really confusing." I'm like, "Was it?"
I don't remember any like much about the plot. Like I played a decent chunk of it, I think.
I beat the game.
Really?
Yeah. It's just what's her ass lives in multiple times.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
that's cool. You know, time travel's neat.
What don't I wait? Like every time somebody talks about the game, it's like, did I play something different?
I remember there's a part where they give you a baseball and you're supposed to, they tell you to throw it at the interracial couple. And then you can choose to not throw the baseball at the interracial couple.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. Did
you have to go out of your, did I just accidentally whip past all the racism parts?
Maybe. I don't know.
Like there was like the
Stu just doesn't see color is the thing you have to understand.
There was the interracial couple. I don't know what you're talking about. I just see two people whip the baseball bat.
And I hate love. Yeah, no, I remember very little from that game. I just the BioShock, the collection or whatever with the 3 games came out on it's on PlayStation Plus Extra. You can download. I can download it on my PS5 if I want. I don't know if I will, but
yeah,
because man, like I get the whole like would you kindly thing was a cool plot twist, but like people talk about that game like it's so smart, and like the main morality choice is like, would you like to save the little girl or would you like to eat the little girl? That's it. And guess what? If you save the little girl, you get a better reward. If you can just wait, it's like the psychology test they did with the kids with the marshmallows. Like, if you eat this marshmallow now, we won't bring you a second marshmallow. But if you wait 5 minutes, you get 2 marshmallows. It's like, if you don't eat this little girl, the next little girl you save will give you as much as you would have gotten if you ate 3 little girls. Like,
yeah,
just don't eat the little girl. That's it.
that's the real answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with morality stuff in video games is nobody really wants to make it like a hard part of video games.
Yeah.
Like even look at like the South Park game, right? Like they had that really good bit where it's like choose your difficulty and like
your skin tone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like if the hardest difficulty, like you were like a black kid.
Yeah.
Right? And then they made that not a thing in the final release of the game. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's like difficulty discourse is such a thing already.
Yeah,
which I don't even want to fucking get into, but
it's just like, you know, there's you're saying something with what you're doing.
Yeah,
right? And even if it's South Park and it's gonna ultimately be dumb or pointless, it's like it's still, I don't know. It's the same thing with like similar things with like a lot of like Mass Effect choices. You know?
Yeah,
do you want to be a space racist or do you want to not be a space racist? You get the same gun. You know?
Yeah. It's morality systems are very difficult, but you know what? We have one game that pulls it off. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
300 and
26
bazillion different endings.
326 different routes, 10 different endings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
But each combination of like, you know, like good, neutral, bad, or bad, like all of those endings for each level in every combination of like all of those has its own named route for some reason. Like there was somebody's job to just name every single possible combination of outcomes you could possibly get.
Yeah. Well, you know, somebody posted with you know, how what's game wiki or whatever has like taken over everything. It's like they posted like a game facts thing to like an old walkthroughs, like look at what they've taken from us, you know? With like the ASCII art.
Dude, where did they all get so good at ASCII art? Did they commission that shit or like what?
There was just I remember I had a friend who was really good at it.
Really?
And he would like, we had like a little forum site that he had set up.
Ooh.
And we were posting, and he would post some stuff sometimes. I'm like, how did you figure this out, man? How'd you do that?
Was there like a generator or something that people knew, like the cool kids knew about or something?
And we just didn't. It was like, it's like Leet.
Yeah.
It's like when Leet was big, it's like, how did you guys figure this out?
Leet is like, I feel like you can figure out the Leet speak a lot easier than you could figure out how to make a fucking Majora's Mask in ASCII art.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was behind on the internet, right?
Me too.
I'd be like, where did you find all these funny images?
Yeah.
Tell me, where's the funny image?
The cat wants a cheeseburger. That's hilarious.
That's funny. Where can I find more of this? Back before everything was just dumped in front of you on Twitter.
He said, all your base are belong to us instead of your base belongs to us. Whoa. This guy.
In their JRPGs. These guys are so crazy.
Japan is so wacky.
Whoa. Hey, speaking of wacky. You want to talk about today's super fun anime?
WTF, Japan. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Again, fuck Adam Sessler, dude. Get that guy, take away that guy's computer, please.
Yeah, I still have the brainworm of just from like that era where everything Japan does is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just normal to them or whatever. I still have the brainworm of I love, still to this day, bad translations.
Oh, sure.
You know, no smorking.
No smorking.
You know, just no dog.
Yeah.
And it's like a bathroom sign. It's like, what does this mean?
Yeah, swear potato. You know, that stuff's great.
Yeah, all that stuff. I still to this day.
Wonderful.
That's my big takeaway from Japan. Weird. And though, man, if you have to watch commercials at any point,
mm-hmm.
like if you don't have the full Hulu, or if you don't have, you know, or Paramount Plus extra, man, every time I watch commercials, I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah.
This is so fucking dumb. How did we ever make fun of Japan for anything?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody's trying to be a worse Old Spice commercial.
Yeah. The absurdism in commercials in particular is like, it's kind of killing the joke for everybody at this point, I think.
Well, but it's because nobody's making anything good or new. It's like, how do you sell somebody Cheez-Its? Cheez-Its have existed for, you know, like 100 years at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you get people excited about Cheez-Its? Well, you just make a shitty commercial that people can't forget about. And then when they're at the store, they'll think about Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Because some whatever, you know, there's no true innovation in this.
They've honestly gotten so wacky with it sometimes that like, even when I'm trying to, I can't quite understand what they're trying to say to me.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a commercial for like insurance or a bank or fiduciary services or something. I don't know, but like it's got John Cena in it, and he's in what looks like a really weird like AI filter, I don't really know how to describe it beyond that. There's like a dinosaur in the background, and he's talking to this lady with a weird like cell shaded face or something. And it's just all sorts of, I don't get it. And like, it sticks in my head to the point where I'm like, I guess that's successful. It was so nonsensical. I can't stop thinking about it. But also, I don't know what they're trying to tell me. Like, do you want me to just to open up a bank account? Do you want me to start a new insurance policy? What do you want?
Yeah. Like,
you win.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what am I supposed to do? And yeah, you really only remember the commercials that make you fucking angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the internet is here for, apparently. It's just to fucking piss you off.
Absolutely. And
And
boy, am I.
Yeah. And now we're going to review this anime. We're going to piss some people off.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can only imagine, like, Bokurano is not a new show by any means.
Yeah. Probably 2004, 2005. We could have looked this up.
You know what?
No.
All right.
Let's look up Sonic facts.
It's not a Sonic fact.
Any facts about the show that we're gonna spend like an hour talking.
This is a Sonic podcast where we talk about anime.
You've been Trojan horse.
Yeah, got him again. And that's how we get our maximum outreach going is by targeting the Bokurano fandom.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, everybody loves Cyberpunk. Everybody loves Blue Lock. It's gonna same amount of people have to love Bokurano.
Yeah, but I imagine anybody searching Bokurano is probably doing so because they have some level of fondness for it.
Yeah, honestly.
Oops.
I
don't know. I can't bring myself to hate it. But like, yeah, this wasn't as fun as I expected it to be.
Yeah, because I wanted to watch something that was kind of trashy.
Yeah,
that was because prior to this we recorded the Valentine's Day episode. We've done like Utena, Blue Lock. Like we've
been watching some quality. Well, Rental Girlfriend was a show.
Yeah.
It's
but
fine.
Like I wanted something that was like my more traditional trash.
Yeah.
And I think I got it.
But at what cost?
At what cost?
Yeah. It wasn't a particularly fun level of trashy, I don't think.
No, it didn't get trashy enough.
It kind of took itself like too seriously to be very funny or like fun.
Yeah.
But like it didn't really do anything with all that gravitas that it was trying to lend itself, you know?
It's very mopey. It's very slow.
It's very mopey, but not in an Evangelion kind of way.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I was thinking towards the end, I'm like, you have these 14 kids. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the premise is that there's like 14 kids. They're hanging out with each other. They're at some kind of what they call a nature school. It's basically like a summer camp.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
They're all hanging out. They find this cave. In the cave, they find a guy, and the guy teaches them like, "Hey, you guys want to play a game? And the game is we're gonna pilot this mech, and we're gonna kill kaiju that show up."
That's right.
Right. Oh, and the kids are like, "Oh, this is great." As the episodes go on, you learn whoever pilots the mech dies.
Yeah. Once you're done fighting, you just fall over, you're dead now.
And you don't have a choice who's gonna pilot the mech. It's this real big curse.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what I was gonna say is that's such a fun premise in a way.
Totally.
Of like, yeah, you can still make it sad, you can still make it like, dark and edgy or whatever. But like you have 14 different people. That's 14 different views of you're about to die.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like if you're asked that question, okay, if today's the last day on Earth for you, what would you do?
Yeah.
And you could get 14 different answers.
You could.
And
we got a few, and the answer was not much, apparently.
Not much. Be really bummed out.
Yeah.
And that was kind of, I don't know. I mean,
Homer Simpson did it better, honestly.
Simpsons did it. It could have, I don't know. It could have been, there's a lot of, like, you could have had a character be like, I'm going to spend, like, and I get it, it's anime, so you target a younger audience. But like, if you had older characters, they could be like, I'm going to blow through my bank account.
Sure.
Right? And just imagine if they like did that in a day, and then they still had to go on for a few weeks before the kaiju show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
I think once you get picked, like you have like a day or so. Like I think that them being picked is like the announcement, like kaiju's coming.
Yeah, it seemed to vary a little bit.
That's true.
But the latter, there were 4 kids that we saw, or 4 people that we saw get picked. The latter 2 had more time.
I guess so. Yeah.
And that seems to be the cycle of the show, is that it focuses on whoever got picked.
Yeah, sure.
Right? What they do. And yeah, they all kind of did different things. But I guess it also doesn't help that the 2 latter kids that got picked were like such fucking shitbag edgelords that it was hard to find the appeal.
It does occur to me, though, the last kid is the only one who knew for sure that he would die afterwards, because it's only revealed to them when the shitty edgelord kid with the rich dad, it's only revealed after he dies that the Zearth like draws on human life energy to work.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And I guess that's the kind of the other thing. So premise there, 14 kids, if you power the mech, you die. Episode 1, old guy who teaches them about the stuff just disappears.
Yep.
Episode 2, fun kid pilots the mech, falls off the mech, and they're like, "Did you know what happened?"
Yeah.
3, nothing. 4, shitty gamer kid dies. 5, nothing.
Yep.
6, so it's like that premise is like spread out across those first 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't start off from 1. It's like the show really expects you to watch a few more before, and by like episode like 4 or 5, it's like, this is the premise.
Yeah. It
This is
asks
what's
for
happening.
quite a bit of buy-in for and doesn't do a whole lot with that time. Meanwhile,
and I think knowing the premise, sorry to everybody who didn't know the premise, knowing the premise does make the show worse.
Yeah, I guess a little bit, huh?
I like when it's all revealed by episode 5, I'm like, I fucking know.
Finally, yeah. Thank God.
Now we're here.
But like, be honest, like I think like my rule of thumb has always been 3 episodes. If I'm not hooked, like, move on. Like, do you think by episode 3 that you really would have been like, yeah, okay, I'm on board?
The plot.
Like, and you had no idea. Like,
no, I don't think
coming out week to week, third week.
I stand by what I said, but not enough.
Yeah,
you are correct.
Yeah, so like, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, if you don't know what's going on, it's like, why the fuck am I still watching this show?
Yeah.
And if you do, it's like, can we get a move on here?
Yeah.
Like, come on, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I will say too, I think I noticed when we were watching the episodes, right? Like we were talking a decent amount, even not necessarily during the show.
Sure.
But like we were talking a decent amount during the first 2 episodes. And then like at least episodes 5 and 6, we were just occasionally like, uh-oh. Oh no.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess do you want to go? How do you want to talk about this? Do you want to talk about your favorite parts? Do we want to go episode by episode?
Let's just talk about the parts that interest us the most. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What stands? What did you like about this show? What stuck out to you?
Favorite part.
And or what did you like about this?
And or what? I like the art direction definitely kind of brings me back. I don't think it would have the same significance to me if it wasn't like a nostalgic kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this show's kind of right at that like early heavy digital age.
Yeah,
right?
Like there's a lot of like, with the mechs and stuff like that. It's a lot of CG, of course. But like most of the characters and stuff like that, from as far as I can tell anyway, seem like digitally hand drawn.
Yeah,
not CG.
Yeah.
Not 3D anyway. I don't know. Like I thought it brings me back in like both the like, oh, this is kind of a style we don't see a lot these days, and also kind of like oh yeah, I remember this looks like other shows I remember that I thought were bad back in the day, but like now I kind of miss it. Like Code Lyoko was the example that I brought up. It's like I remember like watching Code Lyoko in middle school or whatever, it came out like 02 or some shit, and like I was like, this kind of sucks. But like now I look back on it, I was like, yeah, it did kind of suck, didn't it? But like in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, and fun.
Yeah, and like with a level of fondness to it. This sort of like has that same connection to me, I guess. The intro, the OP is good. Like the OP
is
Uninstall. It's a good song.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, to go the opposite direction of what we were just doing, I did not enjoy the music in this show.
Yeah, the actual background music goes from like bad to not very noticeable, like unremarkable.
Yeah, whenever I was like, there's a scene in episode 6 where the military is kind of doing its thing.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of, to me, it just felt like a really shitty version of the Evangelion battle.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a guy who was like, well, they had timpani in it. Should we do anything else? No, just fuck around with the timpani for like 20 minutes, dude. Come on.
The Evangelion, we were talking about it during the moment, but like it just occurred to me, like the song from Evangelion just popped into my head with like the really heavy brass, and it goes like dun, 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 dun. Like that's the one we were referring to, right? Was there another one?
There's another one that's like, it starts out, it's like do 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 do.
Oh yeah,
there's that one, and that's the timpani forward. That's
yeah. Okay,
I thought it was
all
the
right.
battle theme, but maybe that's like the preparation.
I think it's
Eva theme.
Yeah.
I don't know the names aside from Cruel Angel Thesis. So
I don't.
They have names.
I'm sure the tracks got names. Yeah, fuck if we're ever gonna know.
Yeah.
Fly Me to the Moon, Cruel Angel Thesis. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I liked the look of the show for the most part.
Yeah.
That didn't really some of the shots in the beginning, I was like, these are kind of uncomfortable. Like, there was like a lot of close-ups with no way to tell where people were in relation to each other.
Yeah.
But that bothered me less as it went on.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Once it stopped being about all 14 kids at the same time and they kind of broke them up a little bit more, it's like, okay, this flows visually a lot better.
Definitely. And like, just narratively too. I'm like, if I had a complaint, it's that it's not quite sticking to the one battle / one death per episode, like 6 episodes, 4 deaths. Cause like, I'm like, we got to cull this herd a little faster. Cause some of these kids are made to be cannon fodder. And I can we just get them out of the way, please?
Oh, 100%.
Cause I don't give a single fuck about any of these. I don't know anything about any of these characters.
Well, it's too much to ask to be attached to them. And I think it also hurts the show in a way that like the most shonen redeemable character, right? The little soccer kid.
Oh, yeah.
You don't spend a ton of time with him compared to like
he gets the least screen time of the characters that die so far, besides Kokopelli, I guess.
And I think what they're going for is that they're gonna do like a, every episode or 2, it focuses on the kid who's gonna be the pilot.
Sure.
Right. And so you get attached to them and then they die, and it's like, oh, fucking bummer.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this character getting so many lines in this? Oh, it's because they're about to eat shit.
Exactly. Yeah. I also noticed, I think you can, I think it shows the kid like in the intro, like during the uninstall song, it shows every character in the outfit they wear when they die. Like it's been 3 for 3 so far. Like soccer kid's wearing the striped shirt. The edgelord is wearing the flames shirt. And, I don't remember what that last guy was wearing, but he doesn't actually pilot the thing anyway. So, yeah. So like, you can even just see like the outfit they're wearing that day is like, it's him. Like the moment I saw the flame shirt, I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's him next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And knowing who it is isn't necessarily the bad thing.
Sure.
It's just like,
it's just who we're focusing on next.
Yeah. I think it was, at least for us, in where we're at, or at least for me, it's like, I needed them to focus on like a good character.
Yeah.
Rather like fucking first character is shooting a cat with a BB gun. And then the second character is like abusive to his mom.
Oh yeah.
And in a way that it's not like, I get that he's distraught about the fact that he could die very soon.
Yeah.
But it seems like this is a thing that was going on prior.
No, yeah.
He has like a bruise before he's like freaking out about the realization that he's gonna die.
Definitely. Like he has been a real bad egg for a while, it seems.
Yeah. So it's the fact that you like the good character, so to speak, the typical shonen protagonist that dies to show that this isn't a typical shonen show.
Yeah.
A little more time with him could have been good.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm with you. Like that was the one character we could have like grown to like at some point, I think. And all we know is that he likes soccer and he likes to yell. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like in an angry way. He just like, likes going like, ah,
And I think he's a good choice to die from sort of your it's predictable, but it's a good execution kind of way.
He's got sort of like a sacrificial lamb element to him,
Absolutely.
And they have the funeral and it's really sad. We didn't have a funeral for that other kid. Fuck him,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and doing that, it's like how you kill Ned Stark in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's to show that these good, honorable people just get fucking murked in this universe. Yeah. So, this isn't your mom's anime. This ain't your grandma's anime.
Yeah, this ain't no Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, they also kill Sean Bean off in the beginning of that one too.
Oh yeah. Shit.
That was a terrible example. This ain't no.
You fucked this up.
That's terrible. This ain't no Stardust starring Charlie Cox. Remember Stardust?
No.
Princess Bride? Ain't no Princess Bride.
Ain't no Princess Bride. Hey, Sean Bean lives.
Yeah.
By virtue of not being in the film.
Yeah. That's the best way for Sean Bean to survive, I think. It's not be in the movie. Yeah.
Shit. But yeah. Okay, let's see. What do I like? I like some of the kaiju designs.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about
the mantis one. I don't like that they're all the same color.
Yeah.
Except the vagina bot.
I was gonna say I like the big clamshell vagina monster.
Yeah.
I think that one's kind of fun.
Pretty weak compared to Evangelion's vagina monster, but
I love that he is like, missiles are incoming, and he just turns a little bit, and that just fucks up these missiles, which apparently are like laser guided too. So that's just not enough for that.
Yeah. You like these laser guided missiles are supposed to hit far smaller targets, I think.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was also nice to see in that episode too. My favorite thing in kaiju anything is when the military uses their military might against the monster to no effect.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we shot 1,000 tanks at it and it's still going.
And then it shoots a big laser and cuts the jets in half and stuff.
Exactly.
You know,
Evangelion nails it. Shin Godzilla nails it. I know I'm talking about the same director there, but whatever.
Yeah.
He gets it.
This guy knows.
You know,
this guy
classic
gets it.
Godzilla movies have it.
Yeah.
Too, you know. It's good shit.
Yeah. I love it when they shoot the big laser.
Shoot a big thing at a guy and then have him live to show that he's a big bad dude.
Damn straight.
It's just hard to get that vibe from the giant 2D clamshell monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as cool.
No.
Maybe I don't like the kaiju design.
I liked the second one, the mantis.
The mantis was cool.
Would have been cooler if it was a different color. The Z-Earth, the mech that the kids pilot. No sauce.
No sauce.
No swag. Nothing.
Yeah, we were talking about it. It was like the big problem is that everything is like black and gray.
Yeah.
So like it took me a minute to really see, especially the first two fights also take place at night.
Yep.
So you have dark background with black characters. They work better with the later two fights.
Yeah.
Because it's during the day against like a blue background. So
that's
these
very
like
true.
black gray designs pop a lot more.
Yeah.
But if like the main robot, if he was like red with like some accent colors or something,
yeah,
he could like pop out and then I'd be like, oh, that's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And I think they want you to think that the mech is cool, right? Because the whole thing is supposed to be like a subversion.
Exactly.
Right? But I don't think the mech is cool because I can't tell what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Like Eva 1 would not work if it was painted entirely black.
Oh no.
It would be kind of cool from like a fan art perspective,
yeah,
but like it just would not work in that show.
No, it absolutely wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. Plus the purple and green is such an iconic look, you know.
It's so good.
So good.
Speaking of good colors, fucking Evangelion. You know what? I not to dunk on this show further. The whole time I was watching, I was like, I just want to watch Evangelion.
Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah. It's like a lot of moments in this. I was like, yeah, I liked it when Ava did it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like, if you have to pick one subversion of the mecha trope, it's gonna be the anime masterpiece.
Yeah, yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel like, you know, whenever they tried to like, these kids don't mope the way Shinji mopes.
That's fair.
You know, these kids are fucked up, but they're not like, I feel like Shinji and Asuka and on some level Rei like are fucked up in a much more interesting and engaging way, in a way that you can kind of connect with a lot better. Whereas like these kids, with the exception of the soccer kid from the beginning, they just kind of suck.
Yeah. Well, I think the big difference is that they don't have a choice. And so it's edgier and it's scarier. But the fact that like Shinji can leave gives it a lot more emotional depth. Right. I mean,
Shinji can leave insofar as he physically has the ability to get up and walk away from it, but so do the kids from Bokurano. Like
but if the monster shows up and it's your time, you're in the thing.
Yeah, but like, I think, okay, so like let's take the first episode of Ava. If they put Rei in the Ava in her banged up fucking state, does she win?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Did he have a choice? You know what I mean?
Sure. But okay.
Like,
I
you know what I'm saying?
I guess what I'm saying, and it's still kind of the same thing, is that he doesn't like to choose. He has a choice to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, or at least the thing that people want him to do. But he does have the power ultimately to not do it.
That's true.
If he leaves that facility, he doesn't get warped back into the Eva.
This is true.
That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah, okay,
like,
I get
the fact that they have no choice adds to like the existential threat of it. But for me, it's not beyond anything more than you have cancer. You know, you just gave 14 kids cancer.
Yeah,
You know,
you
and
are going to die.
and that's a
soon.
bummer, but like, what do you do with that premise? And apparently it's, you just make them really bummed out about it. And I get it, but there's more to death than that.
But they're not like, and maybe this is just a thing we got to watch further on, because like edgelord kid with the BB gun at the cat guy, like he spent his whole episode talking about like, my dad's so cool and I want to be just like him, even though his dad's like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And like, I'm also going to be a big piece of shit because my dad's a chosen one and I'm going to be one of those too. And chosen ones, they get to live and do the cool things where the other ones don't get to. And that's it. That's his whole character. And then he falls on his dad. His dad gets super smushed in his weird little Hot Wheels car.
We gotta talk about the Hot Wheels
Oh yeah,
car.
his dad drives like what looks like, as I said while we were watching, it looks like someone who doesn't give a fuck about cars tried to draw a Lamborghini from memory. It's got like a glass like cockpit in the center of it.
Well, it's such a good story utility car. 'Cause it's so like, and I do like the kids episode because it's edgy, it does all that stuff, but it does it all in one episode.
Yeah,
Like the worst part about the following 2 episodes is that they're 2 episodes on one kid.
that's true.
You know, in addition to the other problems I think it has, but that fucking micro machines car, it's so good because the first time you see it, you're like, oh, maybe everybody just has future cars in this show.
Yeah.
And then it pans out from the like overhead shot of his car to show all the other cars. They're just regular ass cars.
Yeah, it's
then-
just like, oh, that's just a Toyota Camry there.
Yeah, we all drive these cars.
Yeah.
But then when the giant robot falls on his dad, right? If it were a regular car, he wouldn't see that he's about to fall on his dad. But the fact that it has that micro machines like glass cover on top,
Yeah.
you can see, oh my God, I'm about to fall.
There's
on
my dad. Oh no. Yeah.
Because like otherwise the dad would have to like poke his head out and like be like, oh, what's
Yeah,
going
like,
on?
oh, I'm
You know?
dying. I'm not dead. Oh, I'm dead. You know,
Yeah, exactly. It would have to be something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's what wonderful little thing there. Wonderful little plot device.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's yeah. That's the level of dumb I wish the show would be at a faster pace.
yeah, exactly. We could have done without a whole lot of this newest the 6th episode guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name or really anything about him besides he's like angry.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think like, it seems to sort of gesture at a similar concept of as Evangelion, where like it's all these kids who have Shinji and Asuka, and to a degree Rei, like have this like these real big hangups, like they have real baggage that they're trying to work through, and in the middle of that they have to pilot these Evas to defeat the angels and stuff. And there's sort of an interplay that Shinji derives the entirety of his self-worth at a point from his ability to pilot the Eva and save people and like ingratiate them to himself to them that way, and like that sort of plays into his intrinsic lack of self-worth, and like we kind of try to he later on has to do the work to sort of divest those two from each other. These kids are just like, yeah, I'm fucked up, yeah, I'm gonna die. Those two things are kind of unrelated other than that. Like, I'm an angry ass kid, I'm going to remain an angry ass kid until I die. Nothing is going to change, and this robot didn't change anything other than the fact that I'm going to die.
It's similar to like Attack on Titan, how Eren is like, I want to go outside of the wall and I want to go fight Titans. And then his mom dies. He's like, I want to go outside of the wall and I want to fight Titans, but now I yell slightly more.
Well, no, it's his mom dying is the thing that makes him, because like they hadn't seen a Titan in 100 years before.
Yeah, but he still like wanted.
He does want to go outside.
The
He like admires the searchy people.
Yeah, the scout team.
The scout team.
Yeah.
The Survey Corps, I think they call it in like one of the translations. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they are the survey. They're not. Maybe they're not scouts. Maybe they are survey.
Who knows?
You know what I don't give a shit about? Well, at the same time, give too much of a shit about?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude.
Done. I can't do it anymore. Can't.
Attack on Titan, the final season, the final chapters.
Chapters.
Fucking shoot me. fucking end me right now. Is Attack on Titan gonna outlive me?
Likely.
Like not like I'm fine with like them having a spin-off later, you know,
sure.
Attack on Titan 2 or
Yeah.
whatever. Are we gonna be on season 4 for the rest of my life?
Sure seems that way.
Holy fuck, dude. Hi, welcome to the Grumpy Men Talk About Attack on Titan.
Here we go again.
Corner of this every episode. Oh fuck.
It's just I don't even care what happens anymore. You could release the final episode of Attack on Titan tomorrow, and the whole premise of it is Aaron's doing whatever the fuck, and then a meteor wipes them all out like the dinosaurs, and I'm like, cool, it's over. That's it.
It's over.
But like, I've spent enough time with this show. I watched the first episode of it when it first came out back in 2012,
back
2013 or something.
1832.
Yeah. I signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and then I went home, I turned on Crunchyroll, and I watched. My name's on there. You didn't know that. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about it anymore. Like, you know, I think there's a lot to like about Attack on Titan, but like the rollout of this like final saga has just been so irritating.
So irritating. Who is excited about this?
I don't know.
Like
the manga people say the ending sucks too, so I don't even know what to look forward to.
Right, we're just dragging it out. Great, cool.
Like maybe they pull a Fight Club and just like, you know, change the ending to be better or whatever. Like, and then the author goes like, yeah, I like that idea better actually. You know?
My fucking brain tumor kicks in super hard when I'm at like a store that has manga. I see like the omnibus for like, you know, most of the show. I'm like, I could buy them all.
Sure.
I could just read it. I could know how it ends.
Shit.
Like it's like I could get out of it.
Is
right?
it not on the Shonen Jump app? Couldn't you just?
Oh, it might be. I think about it when I see it.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure it's on either that app or the Crunchyroll app or something.
Yeah.
I could find it online. However, I see it there and I'm like, I could buy them. I could read them all at home, and it's manga. You can read manga super fast. I could be done with Attack on Titan.
Manga is so quick, man. Like, yeah, you blast through that shit like crazy.
I could do it.
You could,
but I can't.
That's not the Attack on Titan that we've been following. It's not the same. That will not fill the hole in our hearts.
And I don't enjoy seasons 1 through 3.
You don't like season 3?
I love the ending of season 3.
Yeah, the ending was cool.
I think I hate them on principle at this point.
But season 3 had the cowboy assassin Kenny.
Who's great.
Yeah.
I
Cowboy Kenny.
I don't enjoy them in the way that I enjoy shows that I enjoy.
Well said. Well said.
If that makes any kind of sense, right? Like I have shows that I love, and Attack on Titan is not one of them.
Yes. Yeah. Agree.
But I need to know how it ends.
Yeah.
Right. And I've avoided spoilers. Nobody spoiled the ending for me.
Nope.
I don't give a shit if somebody like spoils a movie or whatever that came out like 5 years ago, right?
Oh, sure.
You know, like, okay, yeah, I missed the boat on that.
Yeah. Oops.
What happens? But if somebody like came up and was like, you want to know the ending to Attack on Titan? I'm like, fuck off, shut up.
Yeah, get out of my face.
They need to end the anime first. Then you can come up to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
The Bokurano. The kids are not all right. They're bad kids.
Right. They don't change. I mean, they just get to more extreme versions of themselves.
Yeah, I guess.
They
experience this like psycho break. Well, the main guy, the last guy did anyway. And he just, I don't know, is himself but worse.
Yeah, and it's fine. And
he does try to force himself on that one gal.
Yeah, so
that's not good.
Yeah, I guess retroactive trigger warning.
Yeah, I guess. Well, remind me. I'll like edit it in to the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, or at least right before this part or something. Sure, I guess we can kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
So trigger warning for anybody who there is some sexual assault, sexual violence.
Yeah.
Towards the end, in kind of 5 and 6, because in 5 there's no violence necessarily, at least that you see on screen, but that One of the pilot kids has a relationship with their teacher.
Yeah,
and all the kids are teenagers.
Yeah,
so
they're all first years in middle school, which puts them at 12.
Yeah.
So
it's super fucked up.
Super. Yeah. With the exception of that one character's little sister, who is
fourth grader,
which makes her 9.
9. Okay. I can't do the math on that one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That tracks.
Kindergarten, 1, 2, 3. Okay,
yeah. I was like, I went to a new school when I was in 3rd grade. I moved to Clarksburg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody knows my history now. So yeah, that's definitely fucking yikes.
Yeah, for sure.
And she goes into depth because shitty kid learned none of these children's name. Shitty kid wants to hang out with girl who has the relationship with the teacher.
I think her last name is Honda.
Okay. We'll call her Honda.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but we're going by her name is Honda.
E Honda from the Street Fighter series.
So he wants to hang out with E Honda.
Yeah.
And she's like
1,000 hand slap.
And she's like, you only want to hang out with me because you want to have sex with me.
And he's like, yep.
And she goes into depth about it, and it breaks his little head.
Yep.
So
she talks about how she's been sleeping with Sensei, and I had the thought, and like, you know, who gives a shit, but like I had the thought that like maybe she's lying about that with the, like, you know, she's like giving him her own little fan fiction in the like attempt to be like, get the fuck away from me, man. Like, yeah. Like, yeah, I'm fucking the teacher. What are you going to do about it? Like, you know, and maybe the teacher, like we have not seen the two of them interact to any degree. We haven't even seen the teacher in the show.
Right.
We saw him like once during the very first scene, I think. Maybe that was a different teacher.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Who knows? Yeah. So like maybe, but like it's Schrodinger's cat at this point. Who gives a shit? It's not, I'm not going to watch this. Spoiler alert. This is not a keep watching for me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait a second.
Who would have saw that for the fact that we've said nothing but disparaging things about the show?
No, I said I like the theme song.
Okay, my bad.
I need to derail this. You know what anime I finished recently?
Oh,
I am
finished.
Caught up on Jujutsu
can I guess?
Nah, shit. Did you hear that?
You said Jujutsu Kaisen.
I did say, God damn it.
Okay. No. Okay. Well, okay. Let's derail this really hard.
Yeah.
So recently?
Yeah, like last week.
How fucking good is that fight with his like teleporting best friend?
Oh, so sick, dude.
Versus the tree guy.
Fucking radical. Oh my God. The switching place thing was so fucking sick.
That's like one of my favorite fights in anything ever.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, so good. And then when the twist happens where the tree guy thinks he's figured it out, and then you think the tree guy's about to get a one-up on him, and then it turns out the tree guy's wrong. Oh,
he didn't know. Oh, that shit's so cool, man. Like the ideas they have for those fight scenes are just so fucking sick. Like their powers are so cool.
I love that show.
Yeah, Toto's like such a just wacky fun character.
Yes. Like you want to talk about? I was saying earlier, like big dudes. I love big dudes in anime.
That's the guy
up there.
His measure of a man is like, what type of lady do you like? And if it's not a woman with a nice ass, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Well, and that he imagines a scenario where where he and the main character are friends, and then it's like we're best friends.
He has lived that life now.
Yeah, exactly. and the main character is like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
And it works out great.
It's so good. Also, I was really not expecting, like, so he asks Yuji, like, what's your ideal woman? And like he got into a whole fight with Megami about it because Megami said like, I don't know, a lady who's smart or whatever. Yuji goes like, yeah, a tall woman with a nice ass, I guess, you know, like Jennifer Lawrence. And like and like I would have just assumed that he like, you know, he says like Jennifer Lawrence, and like that was just like, or that the localizer put that in, like that's a reference. Like how they shoehorned Sarah Palin into High School of the Dead for some reason.
Right.
But no, he actually says like Jamie Farorenzo Toka. I'm like, what? That is an aged reference already. They also the in one of the post credits things, one of the girls mentions Sebastian Stan, which is another like strange.
Oh,
yeah. They go around asking all the ladies who their ideal man is, and like they're also like, oh, I need a guy who's tougher than me, or I need this, and like the witch girl is like, you know who Sebastian Stan is? Just cuts to the next person.
That's good.
Yeah.
Can I hit you with a weird show I haven't finished?
Oh, go for it.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
man.
I haven't watched the last like 2 episodes because I don't think anything's come out. Because I saw that there was like a baseball episode, and I was like, I'll get around to that, and it's been a year.
There's the baseball episode, and there's like 1 or 2 more where like, I mean, are you caught up with Hunter x Hunter?
No, I'm on the Chimera Ant part.
Okay. After the Chimera Ant part, there's like another like the itty bitty little story arc that like it kind of puts a bow on things a little bit, but also it's like, well, okay, this is that. Like the gang teams up to fight one more guy, and then they do it. Moving on, and some power, like some stuff gets unlocked. They learn a level of teamwork that I don't think they really had before, and that's cool. But it was like, you're probably gonna just save that for the next season, or I don't know, made an OVA out of it.
When is that next season coming out?
I don't know, man. Did you watch the movie?
No, I didn't realize there was one.
Oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
And it's dawning on me that you've actually talked about the movie on the podcast.
I have
before,
actually. I saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
Who's the real fan now?
Oh shit!
I ask you.
Right. Well, you've got me now.
And
now that you've seen the tree fight, you got me.
And I still agree with Jujutsu Kaisen's rating on our placing on our rating. But the movie, so they mention a few times that there's a guy, and now I can't remember his name. The name Shinji is popping into my head. It's probably not that. They mention a few times like, oh yeah, this guy, he's gone somewhere else, but he'll be back later. Like they have another classmate that Yuji and Megumi and Nobara have not met yet.
Wow, well done.
Thank you. There's one more classmate. This movie is about him. Okay. This is the events that happen like the year before our main 3 show up. It's good.
Okay.
It's like yeah. But I have to assume that like the next season that guy's going to show back up.
He's going to be there. Okay, that tracks. Yeah, I can't believe that show has not had its next season come out yet.
Right?
Because we talked about that ages ago. We were already a little behind the curve when it came out, and it still pops up all the time where it's like, oh, people are really excited about this. You can find manga for it in like bookstores and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that already means that it's at a certain level.
Yeah, totally.
You're not just finding like whatever the fuck at like your Barnes and Noble.
And it seems as though there's a decent amount of like more story content. Like we are not caught up to the manga by any means.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten some like minor spoilers from just people posting about it on Twitter and stuff like that. Like there's a pretty radical character design, like radical as in like a dramatic change. Radical character design change to one of the classmates. I won't go into more detail than that, but sounds like some weird shit goes down.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked all the twists that happened in that show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so keep watching to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Keep watching, I suppose, because I did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was leveling my gathering jobs in Final Fantasy 14, and like part of that every once in a while just means you have to like go to an area. Like I'm leveling my miner class, and I'm like, I got to just mine the rocks in this area for the next like half hour. You know what I got time for. So
yeah,
I'm just like, kind of mindlessly clicking while just watching anime.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing.
That's what I do with Stellaris.
Yeah.
I have one monitor for Stellaris, and the other monitor is like, hour-long YouTube videos.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess since we've talked about 2 or 3 other animes,
we're finding any reason to not engage with this anime further.
Yeah. I guess we can probably get into the review section. Before we want to get into the review section, I just want to give a little PSA to everybody. 3rd episode, there's a part where all the kids are talking to the cops about what happened. Whether you're innocent or you're not, don't talk to cops without a lawyer.
That's right.
Remember, they're there to get you.
Yeah.
So don't talk to cops without a lawyer for any reason.
No. Yeah.
If you're innocent, they'll pin it on you. Get a lawyer.
It's not those kids were not setting a good example.
Yeah, exactly.
Not being good role models.
Yeah, that's actually my biggest grief is that any kid watching this show, the demographic for anime is oftentimes, younger kids,
It's
teenagers.
True. It's true.
You're teaching them that they shouldn't have a lawyer when talking to the cops.
Yeah. Know your
Bad
rights.
example.
Yeah.
Bad example. If you plead the fifth, you are not guilty. You are being very responsible.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Will be.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have 3 ratings on this show. That we give every show. We give a keep watching, and total garbage.
Yep.
And we don't do anything in between. So Bakari, where are you rating this show?
This is a light I can't quite give it a total garbage. There's certainly far worse stuff we watched on this show, on this show being our podcast. I think I learned about Bokurano back in like high school or something like that. Like when I was first like really getting like heavy into anime and like seeking it out instead of just watching it on Adult Swim or whatever. And Bokurano was a name that kept popping up, and I'd like watch an episode or two and be like, yeah, okay, I see. I get it. All right. And then like I'd fall off of it. And then I'd come back a few years later and be like, yep, this is the time. And then fall off of it again. And like today, when it came up on Crunchyroll, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know why I keep falling off of this show. I like the premise. I remember thinking it was kind of cool. Like, let's check it out. And like, I can safely say this is the nail. Like, I don't need to watch more of this. I'm done with it. It's fine. If that's your bag, then more power to you. One less, more for the rest. It is an anime that exists.
Yeah, I'm in pretty hard agreement with you. Excuse me. While watching it, I'm trying to be a little bit more harsh with I don't want to just be the show where we just give everything keep watching or end.
Sure.
And I can't give it a total garbage either, because I can definitely imagine this being somebody's like jam, right? Like
if this was like the first like kind of darker anime I'd ever seen. Like if I had seen like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, and then this, I'd be like, whoa, And
I was thinking about that while we were watching it. It's like, I think the context of this show when it came out is a bigger deal too, because prior, like Evangelion came out like late 80s,
yeah.
right?
Well,
sorry, late 90s. Late 90s.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry. I got my decades very mixed up. Came out like late 60s.
Yeah. Right after Giant Robo, and then immediately after Evangelion. And then like almost 20 years later is when, or about 10 years later is when the first Mobile Suit Gundam came out.
Yeah, exactly.
And unlike Evangelion, that was one about the mechs.
Finally. I don't care about these characters. Give me a show about
kids.
The mechs.
Yeah. Tell me about the mechs gun. Pro Gundam, by the way. It's super. That is a joke. I'm referencing an old Evangelion review. Gundam is about the characters and also the mechs. You can be both.
You can do both. You can totally do both.
Yeah.
Hey, this show was never about the mechs.
Whoa. Never?
That's why it's bad.
I mean, honestly,
the characters.
Honestly, if Zeroth had a bit more swag to it, then like maybe I'd like it more.
Honestly, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, fucking. It's unfair to compare it to Eva, but man, not even close. not even close.
In the same fucking zip code, dude.
Yeah. I mean, not close to anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the context I think is probably more important, because after Eva, there were a lot more shows that were willing to be darker and edgier, right?
Sure.
And so the amount, I mean, like an edgy anime is like a dime a dozen these days.
Sure.
But I could imagine like in 2004, when we're pretty sure the show came out,
ish, yeah.
Like you had Eva, you had like Gantz.
Is Gantz in the 90s?
I thought it was early 2000s.
Yeah, you know what? No. I think I remember being in like early high school and my friend telling me to watch it, and then I didn't until way like, excuse me, I have the hiccups. Yeah, my friend told me to watch it, and then I didn't, and then I checked out the Gantz O movie on Netflix. I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and put a mental note to read the manga at some point.
And I'm sure there's others that we're like not thinking about because they're like obscure, or because I can think of a couple from like that YouTube channel Bennett the Sage, who's talked about stuff post Ava. And
check that out. I haven't heard of that guy.
He does some great YouTube reviews.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for more of those.
Very knowledgeable anime guy.
I'm getting to the end. I've been watching Internet Pit Stop. That's been my YouTuber who talks about anime of choice these days, and I'm like running out of his videos, so to watch while I play Final Fantasy. So
no, this is pretty. Yeah, I like his stuff a lot.
Cool.
But
I would say I think there's a sort of like the art of the edgy anime has been lost in the last 10 years or so.
Oh,
like
yeah?
I think it's lost its edge a little bit. Like nothing's trying to go as hard as like Now and Then Here and There went. You know what I mean? Nothing's trying to go as hard as Shigeru Death Frenzy went. You know, maybe that one about the rock that turns into a person and has the Hikaru Utada ending theme, To Your Eternity. That's the one. But like even then, I don't know. All I'm saying is back then wasn't a great time for edgy anime, but then there was a bunch of them and now there's not anymore. But I'm just being pedantic at this point. Continue.
Well, yeah, and I think there's certainly a balance to it too. You know, like you with any kind of edgy thing, if you're just dark, if you're just grim, like kind of this show is, you don't. It just washes over you.
Yeah.
Right. My favorite example in recent years is Chainsaw Man.
Oh, sure.
Where Chainsaw Man has its edgy fun moment. It has its edgy dark moment.
Yeah.
But it also has a lot of heart to it.
Yeah.
And these really nice moments that make the tougher moments hit harder.
It's true. Yeah.
You know, and this show never has a really nice moment outside of when the kid is excited to be piloting the mech. And even then, if you know the premise, it's not a fun moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which like, I don't know how you even got that far without knowing the premise of it, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I kind of forgot about Chainsaw Man. I feel like it's coming back in recent years. So
Chainsaw Man's great.
Yeah. Edgy anime is cool. And I think that it takes a bit more finesse than being like, people die sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people die. Shit,
Yeah.
that's rough. You know?
Sometimes people are really mean about people dying.
Yeah. Like it's not making me feel it. I want to feel it.
Absolutely.
I want to be sad.
Yeah. You got to try harder these days.
Yeah.
Some people are, so step up.
Yeah.
It's a hard for me.
Yeah.
I can definitely understand this being, even today, this could be somebody's jam, right?
Sure.
Like if you just like something that's just dark, that's kind of a twist on the genre.
Yeah.
This show hits that to a fucking T.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't do it for me.
I feel like, I feel like I was going to say it doesn't really earn any of its like heavy moments, but like the heavy moments are kind of just like, that dude's dead. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Or this guy's being a real shitty guy.
Yeah.
He's shooting a cat with BB guns. Or this guy's doing something that is really bad to a woman. Like
And you know, now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe the sort of callous and brusque nature with which it presents these terrible things is the point, you know?
Yeah.
And that's cool. And maybe if I were to watch, you know, 12 more episodes of this, I would get more of that and like understand it better. But you didn't present a very good case given the amount of episodes we watched.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is like we've watched bad animes before and it's fucking dragged. Yeah. The classic example.
Yeah.
But when watching these 6 episodes, it went by at a pretty reasonable pace.
Yeah.
Right? But not a lot happened at the same time. And I can't put those two things together in my head. Like I should have been more bored, but I wasn't. But also I wasn't entertained.
It certainly wasn't pulling teeth like some of the other things we've watched. But there were times where I was both like, wow, we're 3 episodes in already. And also like, we're only 3 episodes in, you know?
Yeah.
Like both of those things at once. It was kind of strange.
Exactly. Yeah. I think knowing the premise going into it kind of does make it a little less interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't think it gets better not knowing it.
I agree.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you just got to go back to 2000s to enjoy it.
I guess.
All right. Time to go. Let me go.
We're going to take you back to the past to watch the shitty anime that sucks ass. We're the angry anime nerds. That itself, bit of a throwback, ain't it?
Oh, that's incredible. Just wait till you start watching some Bennett the Sage videos, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of up from that era of like angry video game guys.
Oh, damn. Okay.
He's not really too much like that these days, but it's definitely, there's a lot of little bits, characters, things like that. I think he's even had a crossover with the angry video. No, not angry video game nerd. Who's the shitty guy? Nostalgia Critic.
It's so easy to confuse those two. I don't know why.
Yeah, when they're very different.
Very different. Yeah.
Yeah. One makes good content, the other one doesn't.
Which one is it?
Ooh. Yeah, it's for you to decide. Take your own biases.
Whichever one you think is right. That's what we meant, actually.
Yeah. someone
But
that
if you
talks
mean
about video
nostalgia
games.
critic, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, who the fuck is defending nostalgia critic? It's 2023. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well,
Oh well.
that's life and that's anime, I guess.
That's anime. Yeah. Well, I hope we don't get sucked into a mech that tries to kill us every time we fight a robot.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, since we're wrapping up, since that mech moment might be happening for us,
Could be.
let's get into some plugs here. Bakari, how can people track you down?
My SoundCloud is just as defunct as the last time I plugged it, but it is still there, and you can listen to some old tracks.
Great tracks.
Thank you, appreciate that. There will be more, probably not on that SoundCloud, but eventually, they'll probably be on Bandcamp and YouTube. But I mean, like, am I going to put on? I don't know. Yeah. And that's soundcloud.com/octomammoth.
I was about to say, like, are you not going to say it? Like,
I forgot for a second.
This buildup.
Yeah. The anticipation. And then there's also soundcloud.com, or no, there's twitter.com/8mammoth. And yeah, you can find me on both of those platforms. And you can tweet about Sonic to me, and I will respond to that, and nothing else, actually.
Nothing else. Yeah.
Actually,
that's smart.
You know what? I don't think I have notifications from people I'm not following on. So I might not even see that if you talk about Sonic. We'll see. I don't know. Give it a try.
Well, I'm gonna do the plugs for this channel. If you like this podcast, we're on YouTube, we're on Podbean, we're on Spotify.
That's right.
Just look up Battle School Dropouts.
We're on
not
YouTube
Beauty
Music,
School
probably.
Dropouts.
Is Beauty School Dropouts a thing?
It's a thing, apparently.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wait, no, I think I saw an ad for that or something recently.
Yeah. Don't look them up. That's not us.
That's our sister school.
They're talking about Beauty School instead of Battle School.
It's like they have the dating sim game, and then they have the dating sim. It's like that same dating sim, but it's for the girls. So like you date a bunch of different guys instead of being a guy and dating all the different girls. Whatever the opposite of Tokimeki Memorial is.
That for them or them? Are they them that for us?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Both, neither.
Both, neither, and also yes.
Yeah.
So
like River City Ransom and River City Girls,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you. Yeah. We're one of those.
We're
River City Girls.
Exactly. I'm Misako.
I'm the other one.
Yeah.
So yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you got a second, just post some weird comment below. If you want to say something nice, great. If you want to just type "good video," that's what I do on YouTube channel.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good video. Yeah, it helps us out a little bit. We've been getting a little bit of traction lately.
Yeah,
just
like and subscribe.
It's been nice.
Do all that stuff. Tell us your favorite Sonic fact.
Yeah. You can follow the podcast is also on Twitter at Battle School Pod.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have it on my phone, so I don't check it. I also don't have notifications on my phone at all.
Nice.
So
that's the way to do it.
So really, Twitter's a terrible option.
Did you see they're making bookmarks visible?
Twitter's a terrible option.
Terrible. Just the worst.
Yeah. People were like
to co-host or something soon because, like, man, that shit is just getting dire.
Yeah. I'm really trying to only be on Twitter at this point when I'm like trying to promote something.
Sure.
Which is like not fun for anybody else on Twitter, but also I don't want to be on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like I very rarely see anything that's like interesting. Right?
Yeah.
Like the JRPG discussion is the most interesting conversation, and mostly it was just people dunking on X-Play.
Yeah.
Which is
for
fine.
good reason.
Yeah, it's good. It's just like,
as I recall, I don't remember. Maybe I'll live to regret this, but I don't remember Morgan Webb being like part of the. Like, I remember Adam Sessler kind of being the one who led the charge on that. So like, it kind of makes sense that she didn't come back to X-Play when that came back very shortly.
Yeah, for that. Yeah. Oh man, I remember that came back and it was getting pretty good numbers, and I was like, wow, good for them. And I would put on the Twitch stream in the background and all that. And then I didn't pay attention. And sometimes you don't pay attention to something and you're like, it must have died off.
Yeah.
And then you look at it and it's just as successful as ever.
Sure.
That was not the case. I stopped paying attention, and so did the entire internet.
No, I saw they were coming back. I was like, yeah, okay, good for them. Like, I have a lot more options now when I want to hear people talk about video games. So like, not for me, but I'm sure someone's into it. And then like, I'm sure a lot of people checked it out and were like, yeah, okay. And then moved on.
Well, and I wasn't as familiar with some of the Adam Sessler controversy.
Sure.
Like that. And in my opinion, when it comes to video game reviews, it's not about going to specific websites. It's about finding reviewers who have opinions that you agree with, right?
Exactly.
And when it comes to video games, Adam Sessler, if he says a game is good, I will probably like it.
Okay.
For the most part. And there was a time after X-Play, he did a review on Titanfall, a game that I was like, oh, I'm not going to play Titanfall.
Sure.
He's like, Titanfall is actually kind of good.
I like Titanfall.
And I jumped on Titanfall. It's one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
So, and poor Titanfall too. But yeah, I love both those games, and I wouldn't have played them if it wasn't for Adam Sessler.
Sure.
But I didn't know any of the other controversial shit. So
yeah.
So that definitely rains on the X-Play parade.
Yeah.
But the guy, what's his face, Black Hokage was cool.
Black
on
Hokage.
there. He was a guy on when they did the reboot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was cool.
He was cool. I did not care for the completionist guy being on there.
Completion.
I watched a decent amount of it.
Oh, really?
If I'm being 100%.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
By a decent amount, I mean like 3 hours.
Oh, that is a decent amount, I would say. Yeah.
So Black Hokage, cool. Completionist. Hey, glad you're having fun, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He unlocked that achievement for his platinum trophy.
Yeah. You earned it, buddy.
The quest to completion continues. You know.
You're not invited to the podcast, but have fun.
Yeah.
That's the achievement unlocked.
Go ahead and start your own podcast.
Yeah.
We won't be on it.
I'm sure he's only on like 3 or 4 because everybody has 3 or 4 podcasts.
Yeah. We're kind of slacking. We only have the one.
I know. We're fucking up, dude.
Fuck. We'll get there.
What do we like other than anime? Shit.
Sports in concept, but not really in practice.
Yeah, it's a terrible podcast.
Hear about sports? No.
No. All right. Well, that's
you catch the game? Me neither.
Stew and Bakari's baseball week.
We like video games. Netflix shows sometimes. Yeah.
We both watched Last of Us. I recently finished it. You have not.
I'm working on it.
We cannot talk about that
Nope.
in any kind of thing.
Bill episode was good.
Bill episode's great.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Nick Offerman.
Wowzer.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Nick Offerman and other guy. Way to go.
Yeah, I don't know who that other actor was,
fucking
but no, yeah, I'd only known Nick Offerman as Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. Yeah. And wow.
Yeah.
He's got some chops, man. He's good.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The whole show. I think we talked about it on the Valentine's Day episode, and I just want to make sure this is clear. I did not care for those first 2 episodes, and I was like, whatever about the show.
Sure.
Holy shit, does it turn it around? You know? And
totally.
even you came over, we watched the first couple episodes. I don't even dislike those episodes that
I thought they were fine. Yeah.
Yeah, they were fine.
They were kind of slow, but so was the content. Like the that game up until that point in the plot was kind of slow.
Yeah.
So, it's par for the course.
All works out.
So all you got to work with, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we hit all the major points.
Another one on the books. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another anime that we have talked about. We've talked about 34 animes.
This
now?
is episode 35.
This is episode 35.
It is. Well, we there was the anniversary episode where we did the rankings. I guess we talked about many and many animes, but not animes that we hadn't discussed prior. So yeah, okay. 34 is the correct number. Actually,
we talked about 30 plus animes.
Over 30 animes.
Over 30 animes. Yeah. And you know what? And I know we congratulate ourselves every once in a while, but I'm going to take this moment to congratulate ourselves right now. Hey, way to keep a podcast going for like 3 years.
Oh yeah, goddamn near 3 years.
We got out of lockdown and then kept doing a podcast.
That's accomplishment of its own, I guess.
Yeah. I think so. Or that's more sad. I'm not sure. One of the two.
Who knows?
Anyways, we're not going away anytime soon.
No.
So subscribe to this channel, subscribe to our Podbean. Tell me I'm cool. Have a good night.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.